Recognized by some as the greatest Roman emperor, Augustus Caesar is surely a name that is familiar to many. He is known for his great leadership and success in the Roman Empire, but how did Augustus really lead the Roman state into peace and prosperity?
Being recognized as the founder of the Roman Empire, much about his life proves to be interesting. So, let's get to know his early life, rise to power, and success.
Hi, it's Nick here.
And I'm Josh, and we're from Eventful Insights.
Today we're back for another informative video on the life of Augustus Caesar.
Together, let's find out. How did he powerfully lead the Roman Empire's golden age?
Before we begin, tell us in the comments below. What fact do you personally know about Augustus Caesar?
Now, let's start. Augustus Caesar, the first and widely regarded as the greatest Roman emperor, was born on September 23, 63 BCE, in Nola near Naples, Italy. Originally named Gaius Octavius Thurinus, he was adopted by his great-uncle Julius Caesar in 44 BCE and adopted the name Gaius Julius Caesar. In 27 BCE, the Senate honored him with the title Augustus, meaning the illustrious one, and he became known as Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus. Due to the various names he used throughout his life, it is common to refer to him as Octavius for events between 63 and 44 BCE, Octavian for events between 44 and 27 BCE, and Augustus for events from 27 BCE until his death in 14 CE. However, it's important to note that Octavian himself, during the years 44 to 27 BCE, did not use the name Octavian and instead chose to closely associate himself with his great-uncle by maintaining the name Gaius Julius Caesar.
Following Caesar's assassination in 44 BC, a struggle for power unfolded. Octavian engaged in several battles and eventually formed the Second Triumvirate with his main rivals, Lepidus and Mark Antony. Octavian eliminated Lepidus in 32 BC and defeated Antony, who was allied with Cleopatra, at the Battle of Actium in 31 BC, establishing himself as the sole ruler. He was designated as princeps, marking the beginning of the Roman Empire with his accession. Initially, Octavian governed as consul, maintaining a republican administration. However, in 27 BC, he embraced the title Augustus, and by 23 BC, he assumed imperial power. His rule, spanning from 31 BC to AD 14, brought significant changes to every aspect of Roman life, ushering in lasting peace and prosperity in the Greco-Roman world. Augustus secured control over distant imperial provinces, constructed roads and public works, established the Pax Romana, and supported the arts. He also took measures to address Roman morality, going as far as exiling his daughter Julia for adultery. At the time of his death, the empire extended from Iberia to Cappadocia and from Gaul to Egypt. Augustus was posthumously deified.
Before we get to discover some of the specific details of his rule that were briefly mentioned just now, let's get to know the events prior to his rule. At the age of 17, Octavius found himself in Apollonia, which is present-day Albania, when he received the news of Caesar's death and his own inheritance. Supporters of the deceased ruler, including many in the Senate, gathered around Octavian to oppose the formidable Mark Antony. Octavian's forces triumphed over Antony's army in northern Italy, but instead of pursuing a complete victory, the future emperor chose an uneasy alliance with his rival. In 43 BC, Octavian, Antony, and Marcus Aemilius Lepidus established the Second Triumvirate, a power-sharing arrangement that divided Rome's territories among them. Antony took control of the east, Lepidus governed Africa, and Octavian ruled the west. In 41 BC, Antony initiated a romantic and political partnership with Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt. This alliance persisted even after a Senate decree compelled Antony to marry Octavian's sister, Octavia Minor. Lepidus played a minor role until Octavian eventually removed him after the renewal of the triumvirate in 37 BC. Antony's relationship with Cleopatra endured, leading to his divorce from Octavia in 32 BC. In response, Octavian declared war on Cleopatra. The naval battle of Actium in the following year saw Octavian's fleet, commanded by Admiral Agrippa, corner and defeat Antony's ships. Although Cleopatra's navy rushed to assist her ally, the two lovers narrowly escaped. They returned to Egypt and, facing defeat, committed suicide, leaving Octavian as the uncontested ruler of Rome.
What are your first impressions about Augustus so far? Tell us in the comments below. Now, let's begin discussing the start of Augustus's rule. Historians pinpoint the start of Octavian's monarchy either to 31 BC following the victory at Actium or to 27 BC when he was bestowed with the title Augustus. Within this 4-year period, Octavian fortified his rule on various fronts. Utilizing Cleopatra's seized wealth, he was able to compensate his soldiers, ensuring their allegiance. To appease Rome's Senate and ruling classes, he enacted laws that, at least superficially, harked back to the traditions of the Roman Republic. Additionally, he endeavored to enhance and beautify the city of Rome to garner favor with the populace. Throughout his 40-year reign, Augustus substantially expanded the empire, nearly doubling its size by acquiring territories in Europe and Asia Minor. He formed alliances that granted him effective control from Britain to India. Augustus spent a significant portion of his time outside of Rome, consolidating power in the provinces. He implemented a system of censuses and taxation that reached the farthest corners of the empire. Augmenting the Roman network of roads, he established the Praetorian Guard and the Roman Postal Service while transforming Rome through both grand initiatives like a new forum and practical measures such as the creation of police and fire departments.
Already popular among the soldiers in his army, the title Augustus further solidified his authority in the provinces as imperator, or commander-in-chief, from which the English term emperor is derived. The month of August was specifically named in his honor. In the year 19 BCE, he was granted Imperium Maius, or the supreme power, over every province in the Roman Empire. From that point onward, Augustus Caesar held supreme rule, becoming the inaugural emperor of Rome and the standard against which all subsequent emperors would be evaluated. By 2 BCE, Augustus was officially recognized as Pater Patriae, the father of his country. The period of Augustus's rule marked a golden age in various aspects. The peace he established and maintained, known as the Pax Romana, led to flourishing in the economy, arts, and agriculture. An ambitious building initiative was launched, where Augustus not only completed projects initiated by Julius Caesar, but also pursued his own grand designs. In his renowned inscription, Res Gestae Divi Augusti, meaning the deeds of the divine Augustus, he asserted to have restored or constructed 82 temples within a single year. Augustus's second-in-command, Agrippa, was responsible for the construction of the famous public Roman baths, and the poet Virgil composed his epic, the Aeneid, during this era. Augustus personally took a keen interest in the arts and served as a patron to numerous artists. Additionally, he implemented extensive reforms and laws aimed at maintaining stability in marriage and boosting the birth rate in Rome. These included making adultery illegal, providing tax incentives to families with more than 3 children, and imposing penalties for childless marriages. Augustus adhered so strictly to these laws that he even banished his own daughter, Julia, and granddaughter for committing adultery.
Augustus stands out as a remarkable administrative genius in history. His extensive reorganization efforts spanned every aspect of Roman life and the entire empire, transforming the declining republic into a new monarchical regime that would endure for many centuries. His initiatives led to the establishment of a lasting Roman peace, the Pax Romana, built on efficient communication and thriving trade. This era of peace not only secured the survival of the classical heritage, encompassing both Greek and Roman influences, but also facilitated the spread of Judaism and Christianity. Despite the autocratic nature of his rule, Augustus demonstrated tact and imagination in employing various forms of propaganda to present his autocracy in traditionalist guises. This approach resonated with a war-weary generation, particularly the upper bourgeoisie just below the leading nobility, who were the primary beneficiaries of the new order. Through the patronage of Maecenas, Augustus also garnered the approval of some of the world's greatest writers, including Virgil, Horace, and Livy. The writer's enthusiasm stemmed, in part, from Augustus's belief that the Roman peace should be under Occidental Italian control. This perspective differed from the vision of Antony and Cleopatra, who had envisioned a Greco-Roman partnership that only gained prominence several centuries later. Augustus's more localized view, influenced by his small-town Italian roots, included an informed admiration for Greek civilization. His patriotic and antiquarian attachment to the ancient religion, along with his puritanical social policies, can also be traced back to his Italian origins.
The era also boasted numerous architectural masterpieces, and remnants of their monumental grandeur and classical elegance are still visible in Rome today. Notable examples include the well-preserved remains of the Theatre of Marcellus and the expansive Forum of Augustus, featuring impressive colonnades and culminating in the Temple of Mars the Avenger associated with Julius Caesar. Beyond Rome, the Augustan age left a wealth of memorials. On both sides of the Alps, there are monuments commemorating the submission and loyalty of local tribes. Examples include an elegant arch at Seguscio, or Susa, and a square stone trophy crowned by a cylindrical drum at La Tubi. Augustus passed away in Nola in 14 CE. Officially, his last recorded words were, "I found Rome a city of clay but left it a city of marble," succinctly capturing the essence of his accomplishments during his reign as emperor. However, according to his wife Livia Drusilla and adopted son Tiberius, he purportedly uttered, "Have I played the part well? Then applaud as I exit," as his final words. Following his death, Augustus' body was transported back to Rome. On the day of his funeral, all businesses in the city closed as a mark of respect for the departed emperor. Tiberius, whom Augustus had adopted in 4 CE, succeeded him and delivered the eulogy, alongside his own son Drusus, at Augustus's notably grand funeral. The emperor's body underwent cremation, and his ashes were interred in his mausoleum. Augustus's demise was mourned as the loss of a remarkable ruler with immense talent and vision, leading to his posthumous recognition as a god among the Roman pantheon.
Augustus Caesar's life really proves to be impressive. What was his greatest achievement in your opinion? Tell us in the comments below.
If you enjoyed watching this video, click like, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell. Thanks for watching.